Welcome back to another episode of Motor Drive. We're heading back to the track today to highlight some of the key moments in the fierce rivalry at Mercedes between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. The pair dominated F1 during their 4 years as teammates, but their relationship became increasingly volatile on and off the track as time went by. Be sure to watch to the end to find out just how far these two would go to win. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. The 2014 Bahrain Grand Prix. Hamilton joined Mercedes in 2013, pairing him with his old karting teammate and friend Nico Rosberg. There were signs of discontent early on after Rosberg was ordered to back off Hamilton in the previous 2013 Grand Prix in Malaysia. The Bahrain Grand Prix showcased what the pair could really do competing together on the track. Both drivers produced an immense display of driving, with Hamilton taking the lead off the line and eventually winning by 1.085 seconds over Rosberg. At this time, the pair were still seen as friends. However, it later emerged that Rosberg had used engine modes that were banned by Mercedes to give him a power advantage over Hamilton. This was the first sign of bitterness creeping in. The 2014 Monaco Grand Prix. Both drivers started a lap in the closing stages of Q3, with Rosberg leading the line. Rosberg's earlier Q3 attempt had given him a provisional pole before a strange mistake saw him run deep into a slip road, forcing Hamilton to bail out of a lap that he claimed was already good enough for pole. Hamilton later said he was convinced his teammate had parked his car on purpose, with the Mercedes data backing up his claims. Hamilton declared the pair were not friends, and Rosberg went on to convert his pole into a win the following day, putting an end to Hamilton's win streak. The 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix. Coming into this race, Rosberg was leading the championship by 14 points ahead of Hamilton. His lead grew stronger after gaining pole position again, and Hamilton suffering an engine failure in qualifying. Hamilton gained the lead in the race from a pit lane start after a safety car shuffled the order. Rosberg caught up to Hamilton, and Mercedes asked the Brit to move over, to which Hamilton refused, reasoning that he had battled from last position and wasn't prepared to slow down to let his rival, who started in pole, past him. This resulted in Hamilton holding on to third place, leaving Rosberg angered at the injustice from his teammate and the lack of punishment for Hamilton's perceived selfishness. 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. Returning from the summer break, the 4 weeks of resentment came back to bite Rosberg. The German attempted a clumsy move around the outside of the Les Combes chicane, which resulted in contact with his teammate, knocking Hamilton out of the race contention. Rosberg recovered to finish in second, but it later emerged that he had left the nose of his car in to prove a point and was booed on the podium. This left him 29 points ahead of Hamilton, but seeing the momentum swing in the Brit's favour as he went on to win 6 of the 7 races, remaining claiming his second championship. The 2015 Chinese Grand Prix. Lewis's second win of the year was faultless, but of course came with its controversy. The pair were leading the line ahead of Ferrari when Hamilton was asked to pick up the pace due to Rosberg suggesting he was backing him into Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg finished second, accusing Hamilton of compromising his race. Lewis was unfazed by the accusations, claiming it's not his job to look after Nico's race. The 2015 US Grand Prix. Hamilton arrived in Austin knowing he could win the title if he claimed victory. Hamilton forced Rosberg wide at turn 1 to claim the lead, with the advantage swinging between the pair throughout the race. Rosberg led in the closing stages before a mistake at turn 12 in which Hamilton capitalised and claimed his third championship. Rosberg wasn't for celebrating and claimed Hamilton's move at turn 1 was one step too far and infamously threw a Mercedes cap at Hamilton on the podium. The 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. Rosberg went on to a 7-race winning streak, 4 of which were part of the 2016 championship. He led Hamilton by a huge 43 points. The German passed his teammate in pole around the outside of turn 1. As he came through the next few corners, Rosberg's car had entered an incorrect engine mode, meaning he was slower than Hamilton coming out of turn 3. Lewis went for the win before losing control on the grass and eventually spinning into Rosberg, taking both men out of the race. The 2016 Austrian Grand Prix. Mercedes' nightmare in Spain saw a repeat in the last lap in Austria. Rosberg looked set to record the best win of his career. As the pair closed in on the final laps, Hamilton took the outside, moving alongside Rosberg as they approached the corner. As Hamilton turned in, Rosberg continued straight on, causing a collision. This was another example of Rosberg's no-nonsense attitude, which had developed over the previous accusations of settling for second. Hamilton continued past the damaged Merc to win. Both drivers later accused each other to be at fault, with boss Toto Wolff issuing Rosberg 2 penalty points for failing to allow racing room. The 2016 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. With Hamilton in pole position, Rosberg needed just a podium finish to become world champion. The Brit couldn't hide his feelings and strolled around the circuit, possibly hoping that the German would fall into the grip of Ferrari's Vettel. Mercedes urged Hamilton to speed up, to which he said, "I'm actually in the lead right now, I'm quite comfortable where I am." The race epitomised the rivalry of the pair and just how little the either would sacrifice for each other. Just 5 days later, Rosberg would announce his shock retirement from F1, leaving fans across the globe wondering what could have happened if he stayed to defend his title.